If you want to grow 10x in your career, then this podcast is for you. Today, in this podcast, we have with us Neha Ma'am. She is an alumni of BITS Pilani and she has worked for more than 25 years. And out of that 25 years, she has spent 12 plus years in working for multinational companies. So today she is going to share a lot of insights which are going to help you, me, and all of us who are going to be a part of this session. And all of us who are going to watch this video. So first of all, I would like to thank you, Neha ma'am, on behalf of all of us that you are joining us for this podcast. And I would like you to introduce yourself to all the viewers. So yeah, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Prince. It's such an honor to actually interact with somebody as young as you. I always look forward to such opportunities, where we can exchange ideas with the young minds. And I've seen you, you're very enterprising. So pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for inviting me out here.
Great, ma'am. Thank you so
You
much.
asked,
Yeah, please. So I asked you to introduce yourself, and I just want to add one more thing that ma'am is also an author. That she has recently published her book Defy Your Gravity, and we'll talk about this book as well. So, ma'am, first you introduce yourself in your terms.
All right. Thank you so much. You've said most of it. I think there's nothing much, that I have, to say. But yeah, of course, if you need to know my background, then I have, like he said, 25 years of an experience, over 25 years of an experience, and 12 plus years I've spent in the corporate world with the healthcare segment. Now, I've worked for companies like Dentsply India, which was into dental products. It's a US multinational. And so I'm telling you, my last assignment was with Win Medicare. The Betadine happened to be one of my products. So now, 2012 was the turning point when we took a big shift of, relocating to Agra. So from Delhi to Agra, and no corporates here. So that was a big question, what do you do here? So I think, you look back and you thank and you connect dots and you feel that, yeah, this probably was the purpose that brought me here. So I started teaching students in colleges. Like we all know, there's so many private colleges out here. So I started with GLA and Mathura, and then I got, as soft skills trainer in DEI. So in DEI, I taught till 2018. I was teaching them entrepreneurship, soft skills, and ethics. So that gave me quite an insight into youth. And I felt that, there was more that I would love to do in kind of, empowering the youth, in kind of contributing to their journey of, um, better future. So therefore, then in 2018, I left DI and now I'm on my own. I'm trying to see how I can contribute in kind of seeing future ready youth, which is more confident, more resilient. And just as an effort towards this objective of mine, I published a book last year, Defy Your Gravity. So yeah, that's about
Yeah, great. So you have spent 25 plus years and now you can connect all the dots backward. But for people who are like making dots right now, who are early in their career, so
it.
what they can see in future, how they shape their early career, like you start when you started your career, what was your thought and what uh, key things push you to do more? What
Okay.
was the key lever for you in the
Okay.
early career phase?
So, my first disclaimer for all the youth is that you don't need to know everything right away. You don't have to figure out everything right away. So, start from the point where you are at this point in time. So, for those who are in whichever point you are at, first try and reflect over, that, time where what is it that you have, what is it that you can capitalize on. So I'll give you one example why I say that is, like for me, when I did my 12th, I got relatively good marks, 98%, and I thought, like, getting into bits, I'd probably get into anything. So somebody, at that time guided me that, see, pharma is an upcoming field. And so why don't you, that's the future. So why don't you just pick up pharma? And, at that time, in our times at least, parents, they would guide you, but we relied a lot on our peer group, what they were doing and how they were filling up forms and stuff like that. So I did fill up pharma as one of my key options. So I filled up computer science, triple E, you had to fill up only three, and then pharma. I got through pharma. वहाँ पहुँच के, of course, I realized, I could have got into any of the engineering branches except for the top two. And when I got into pharma, Prince, I figured out that, that wasn't something my calling, yeah, at all, because, I had done PCM and not biology after 10th. And those 4 years, I had to struggle my way through. Literally, you wouldn't believe, I had to fight my way through. But what happened, the best thing that I did probably is that I tried to find out what better. Now, this is what I have. Let me, I can't just leave it in between, right? Let me take full advantage of the opportunity that I have to be in such a prestigious college, do my pharma, but what next? What else can I do? So I kept trying more courses. Electives में बहुत सारे अच्छे अच्छे courses थे. We took those. I participated in every little activity, you know. So if you are at whatever point right now, at whatever dot you are at that time, first and foremost, make full take, like full potential uska capitalize kar lo. Don't do it half-heartedly. So if suppose you are in any college that is not of your choice, any stream that's not your choice, no worries. Finish it. Full advantage uska lo aap pehle to. And then try to figure out what next. What else can I do to better my next step? So that, I think, is the first thing people should do. You don't have to know everything. The moment you think of the next best step and you take that step, however imperfect it might be, it'll again lead you to another connecting dot. And that's how
Okay.
it builds.
Okay, so you were saying, keep take one step at a time, and
One step at a time, one step at
like,
a time, but with full, what I call in Hindi, I call it nirak parak.
okay,
Properly evaluate. Here I am now. Okay. You have only two choices. Either you make best use of that time and that resources that you have, or you just give up and say, I can't do it. So which is better? So you
now,
make full use of it and find what better I can do.
right, man.
Plan your next step.
Got it, Mike. So you talked about peer group that sometimes when people are working in companies, they try to figure out what others are doing, then they just try to emulate like if I can do it or not. And I'm seeing this trend that among so many people who are like, if someone is giving this exam, I need to also give this exam. So what how you talked about realize your true potential and all. So how a person can do that first of all? Because I went through this journey as well, and I understand that how it is not easy to understand
Yeah.
your own capabilities, and it takes time. It takes a lot of reflection. And actually, man, if someone who is watching this podcast, what they can do so that they can get clarity in next 15-20 minutes, just if they are investing time in this podcast, so how can we give them like 15-20 minutes nuggets?
Okay. So I'll tell you something very, very important that any age, it's not age specific actually, but yes, for the youth, I would say, who are right now at the point where they really are very, very influenced by their peer group, okay? It's not bad. First, you have to make sure you have to align your peer group with what you want. So that's where my starting point always I emphasize self awareness. How many times, Prince, any of us actually sit through in peace and think about, what we want? So when I did the workshop on inner codex, the entire theme of my inner alignment is basically to know yourself. Whether how much is it that we've actually self introspected, हम अपनी ही कितनी बार सोचते हैं कि हमारी likes and dislikes क्या? Most of the times we are either driven by what our parents want, what our society wants, what generally the trend goes, And of course, nowadays, social media. So हमारे टाइम पे भी there was एक ट्रेंड शुरू हुआ that everybody got into either engineering or medicine, no other stream, yeah, government jobs. Now also, if you see, in engineering, in one of the colleges recently I went, they said most of the other engineering streams they have actually scraped off. There's only IT, there's only computer science. Now, imagine you're getting into computer science, and do you really have that much of aptitude for that stream? So, you only have to be. So, everything comes down to self awareness and taking ownership of your own future. So, when you are aware of yourself, when you know exactly what you want to do in life, you will take the right choices. Now, those choices are right because you're thinking at that point. They might be wrong in some ways, that's okay, but you can keep modifying them through the way. But at the starting point should be that you know yourself first. Don't just blindly follow what's the trend, what everybody is doing.
Okay.
So
So
just figure out what is my strength, what am I good at, what is it that I really can't do, but I'm doing it because the others are doing it? Am I going to be happy? Does it really make me happy? What is it that 5 years from now I would really want myself to be? Aankhein band karke, like, in one of my activities in college, I used to make my students do sit with your eyes shut and just think of an office. Imagine now what office building can you think? See it, visualize it. What kind of a office cubicle do you have? In that, what kind of a work profile you have? Most of the students that I interact with, and I say, okay, fine, which company, what do you want to do in future? I want to become a coder. Okay, give me 20 companies that you have. They don't have 10 companies also that match their aptitude. So you have to map everything with your likes, with your aptitude. So that's, I think, the starting point. You have to be self aware and do it yourself. Nobody will be able to do it better than any you. And yes, Prince, another thing that I can, to do it better, okay, you have to explore a lot. You have to explore a lot of opportunities. Be aware of, everything that's going around. If you are a mechanical engineer, if you are a finance person, you must know what's happening in the industry, everything in the industry. And apart from technical skills, I also always vouch for soft skills. आप अपनी बाकी लाइफ स्किल्स भी सीखो उसके लिए यू हैव टू एक्सपोज योर सेल्फ टू ऑल काइंड ऑफ एक्सपीरियंसेस ऑल काइंड ऑफ एक्सपोजर डू एवरीथिंग फॉलो वन स्पोर्ट एक्टिविटी फॉलो वन any passion that you have otherwise find time for that rather than just scrolling through aimlessly through the net the way we do these days. So yeah, that helps.
yeah, so the ultimate thing is self-awareness. And you said like, okay, the people who are watching this podcast, just ma'am said, ki close your eyes and see where you actually see yourself working in like few months, or if you are already working, where you want to reach in 6 months or 1 year later. So I'm pausing here for 10 seconds. Just close your eyes and see where can you see yourself. So that's the point. Okay, let me see as well. Ma'am, you can also see. Okay. So back to the point, right? I can see myself growing my community. That's the only thing that I can see.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
I think that so the people who are watching this podcast are also able to see themselves working in their dream job, dream company, and whatever you are. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. So self-awareness is point, and ma'am talked about taking ownership. That so many times it happens that we keep blaming everyone, like due to my family, due to my other reason, whatever reasons you have, you are not able to achieve your full potential. And at last, I have went through this journey as well now, to be very honest. I was working in a job for like 6 years. And I always thought ki I'm not doing justice to my potential. I'm just using very less potential of mine. So it took me 6 years to step out of that zone. So, and only one point was that key. I was stuck due to myself. My family didn't say anything. They were living in different city. I was living in different city. So most of the time, it's very right that we don't take responsibilities. We keep blaming others. So right point, ma'am, you said. And you also added that you need to be aware that what is happening in the industry.
Yeah.
Suppose if you are working in finance, then you need to see that where industry is going. Like sustainability is a trend. Like index funds are trends. Different areas you can explore. How industry is shaping. Which are the like emerging companies who are going to be the leader. So got your points, ma'am. And you talked about soft skills a lot and life skills. Can you explain these skills in a like a easy to understand manner so that if we talk about soft skills, what you actually mean about soft skills so that people understand
Yeah.
themselves?
So see, there are two types. We normally say hard skills and soft skills. Now, hard skills are the technical skills, skills that we have studied as a part of our curriculum. Whatever, you may have studied finance, I studied science, somebody else may have studied arts. So those are our technical skills, our functional skills. Now, to be able to use those skills effectively, to be able to express, you know, your whatever work you're doing there, you need certain other skills, which are called soft skills. And in one word, if I can say, life skills. So everybody talks about, communication skills. Now talk about, if you're a good finance person, like I'm talking about, finance in particular, where, figures are so important, and to your clients, to your customers, you have to come out very, very effectively. Otherwise it can lead to some kind of emotional disturbance also, if there are any investments, kind of, this thing. So there, if you can't express or communicate what you want to say or what you're proposing, then, the other person will not get what you're trying to convey in terms of your product, in terms of your services,
Got the
or the
point.
results, whatever there are. So communication skills हो गए. Then how do you deal with other people? So your interpersonal skills, वो भी आपकी soft skills में आ जाती हैं.
Right.
When you're working in any scenario, whether it is, a corporate, or it is, even at home also, certain skills like, team work, that is required. You can't always, in this world, you can't work in isolation. So teamwork is required. So you need those kind of skills to be able to effectively, you know, execute all that work, all the technical skills that you are otherwise, you've learned.
Okay, so you are essentially talking about three skills. First of all, communication is a basic building block. Second, you are talking about people skills. And you also talked about that numbers are important, then you need to use your brain as well. So
Yes.
people skills, communication skill, and thinking skills. If you have these three skills, these are essentially life skills. No
Yes,
matter
they're
where
life
you work,
skills.
no matter
Absolutely.
where you work, in
And then
what domain you do. Yeah.
and then what is more important, one step ahead, if I go, and I'm a strong proponent of this. Not many people will tell you this. More than skills, soft skills, what is important is the traits. Now you and I are trained in same communication skills. Okay, we both know what communication skills are. Okay, what is this message and how I have to effectively communicate. Why is it that two people with similar communication skills, when they go out and face the person or the public or people, they blank out? One person blanks out and the other person is able to convey the message very clearly. Why does it happen? So that's where the traits come in: your confidence, your consistency, your discipline. Those are your personality traits. So skills आप किसी भी age में you can learn, but these traits are something that cannot be learned. They have to be built through experiences. So morning, if you get up and you fold your sheet and you clean your room, you would find your day will go so well, because that confidence आता है that you have done something right. And when you consistently do these kind of small little, acts of, right way of functioning through the day, that builds your confidence. And confidence will also come when you actually expose yourself to a lot of new environments, step out of your comfort zone, when you actually, explore, like I said, and experience new things. A lot of people you'll see, even, in the West, they believe a lot in, giving experiences to their kids when they're young. A very little baby is put into water, right? They're taken into to the mountains also. Trekking में you'll find small little infants. हमारे यहाँ पे infants बाहर जाएं भी तो they'll be like so careful that कहीं exposed to cold ना हो जाए, ये ना हो, keep them very pampered. But you see they rough and tough, उनको आराम से they take them on biking, sun beach पे ले गए. So those experiences matter a lot. They'll be into a lot of sports activities, music activities. So expose yourself to a lot of activities, lot of experiences.
Yeah. As you said, we need to explore certain things. So
Yeah.
in our country, where there is like supply and demand mismatch, and when people are trying to explore a lot of things, sometimes it can backfire on them as well.
Yeah.
So I have seen people in our community as well, that people are like very risk averse. They don't want to go out and try different things. If they are working in certain job, they don't want to explore others. They are comfortable there. They are doing good there. So how they can have this explore kind of mindset, because if they're not going to try different things, they're not going to evolve as a person.
Yeah.
So what you will say
So
on this point?
So that's exactly what I'm saying. Utilize every minute of your time in, whatever you're consuming. See, पहला आपका आता है through the social media only. A lot of exposure from there only, right? Because the world's become so small now that you can practically get to know of everything relevant on your fingertips. You don't have to really step out to find and meet people and ask. You just know, you can really figure out now. And with AI coming in anyways, but you need to do it. You need to expose yourself. Like I just tell you, I'm one such person who kind of, steps out of my comfort zone, even at this age. In November, I went for fire walk. I literally walked on coal, burning coal. Now, people ask me, why did you do that? Was it a part of your religious, this thing? I said, no, it's just one experience. I wanted to experience the feeling when the fear goes away, or what fear feels like. I wanted to experience that. You see, I burnt my feet. I was on bed rest for more than a month, but I can still die for that 1 minute of that 1 minute when I actually stepped on the coal. That not minute, one moment. Anything was worth that one moment when I stepped on coal.
Mhm.
You feel
Mhm.
liberated. So when you do such things, not such things, when you do anything which is out of your comfort zone, you will see that you're building these kind of traits. So that will help you. So find out, meet people, see what are the news trends. Aajkal to social media is there all over. You can find out things, and people will always judge you, but you do what you. If you're not good in communication, if you feel that you're very shy, start speaking more.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
at this age,
Yeah.
Prince. I can say for sure, all those people who I was very, very hesitant, I used to think, "Hari, ye kya sochenge? Let me not do this." At a young age, I used to think, "Oh no, ye kya sochenge? No, 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 I'm not going to do that." Today, those people are not even there in my phone list. So why should I bother about people judging me? Today they are in your vicinity, in your connections. Tomorrow they might not be there at all, but that important time you would have missed of learning, of experimenting with yourself. So I always say that, till the age of 25, right from graduating 21 to 25, experiment anything, new jobs, new lifestyle, new everything. Experiment kar lo, because every company will allow you those 3 to 4 years of experimentation. Once you're out, then after that, then you have to stabilize in one stream, and then you need to be the master of that.
Okay, ma'am. Now, first of all, I want to give you guys a disclaimer. Ma'am loves the burning experience. You guys, if you are going to do anything, take your own assessment and judgment, na, whether you want to love it or hurt yourself. Na?
Under the expert guidance.
Yeah,
Nothing,
that,
that's
that
the
is very
wisdom.
much needed, guys. So ma'am also saying the similar thing under the expert guidance. So
Absolutely.
the next thing is that ma'am, I have recorded 3-4 podcasts with girls.
Hmm.
So most of the time they came like थोड़ा सा आगे थोड़ा सा पीछे and like मतलब when now जब भी कोई मैं पॉडकास्ट शेड्यूल करता हूँ ना, कोई भी मतलब फीमेल होते हैं तो मुझे पहले से पता है कि शी इज मैनेजिंग मल्टीपल थिंग्स. शी मे
Hmm.
बी कोई घर पे आया होगा या ऑफिस का काम होगा कुछ और होगा. तो ये कंसिस्टेंट हुआ है. मतलब ये 3-4 बार मैंने पैटर्न नोट किया. तो ये
Hmm.
मतलब आप जब अपने करियर में, क्योंकि आपने 25 ईयर्स और पूरा एंटायर लाइफ एक तरीके से वर्किंग लाइफ, सो
Hmm.
आपकी लाइफ में भी सारे चैलेंजेस आए होंगे. तो जो लोग जो मतलब जो लोग आपसे इंस्पिरेशन लेंगे कि 25 ईयर्स काम करना है इंडस्ट्री में, 30 ईयर्स काम करना है, तो
Hmm.
एक्चुअल में जब आप मिड करियर में होते हो तो की चैलेंजेस क्या आते हैं, क्योंकि लाइफ भी ट्रांजिशन करती है अपने फेजेस से. आप जनरल जब आप यंग हो तो आप एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहे हो, अकेले हो, फैमिली नहीं है, सब नहीं है. लेकिन जैसे जैसे आप लाइफ में आगे बढ़ते हो तो चीज़ें भी आगे बढ़ते हैं. एंड देन हाउ यू मैनेज ऑल द थिंग्स एंड ऑल्सो कीप योर प्रोफेशनल लाइफ इंटैक्ट एज वेल. सो
Hmm.
हाउ पीपल कैन डू इट लाइक.
सी, दो चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट हैं यहाँ पे. नंबर वन, जब आप बिल्कुल करियर स्टार्ट कर रहे हो तो वो आपका लर्निंग फेज होता है. Like I said, you experiment for the first. So, what are you doing when you're experimenting with new things? So, I'm not saying that, if you're an engineer, you suddenly start becoming a peon. I'm not saying that, not as, contrast. But what I'm saying is explore what are related to your domain. Now, through the process, you will learn a lot. So, that's your learning phase to building up your skills, both technical and non technical skills, like soft skills. But when you come into the mid level of mid career, now that's the time when you would have acquired skills, when you should have, been in a stable career. Now, at that time, you have nothing to prove to anybody. So, you should look for what value addition you can do to your professional life and your personal life. So that's where the midlife challenge basically comes, where usually people just start to take it lightly. And then they have nothing for the third phase of their life, which is, literally once they're towards the retirement. So they have nothing for that. So here is the time when you are stable. Here is the time when you have already acquired skills and you acquired your space in the professional world. Now you have nothing to prove to people. So you should do anything which has value addition to your job roles. So become more contributing in the roles that you are in. And I
Okay.
always say that be very professional. So it comes with a lot of discipline. You need to be disciplined. You need to be consistent. You need to be very, empathetic to others. You need to grow, but help others grow along. So ये सब चीजें जो है ना, this will actually help you, or this will differentiate you from whoever is starting the career. Because now here, you're not just adding value to your growth, you're also adding value to others' growth.
Organization as a whole, you can say. So, like you started the career now, whatever we have discussed till now is like a person started career. Like at that time, he or she was supposed to have different skill sets. Now,
Yeah.
as you move ahead in this journey, now you were supposed to do something else. The skills which were serving you at that moment are maybe or may not be serving you at this moment in mid-career phase. So the important point here is how you can do some value addition in the form of certification, value addition in the form of trying different domains as well. Along with your work, I'm not saying ki you leave everything, you try other things as well. Suppose you are working in research, you have aspirations to work in research, core equity research and all. Still, you can try sales, still you can try marketing. So it will give you a value addition ka circle so that you become more valuable. So certifications also help because private work is competitive and how they assess how valuable you are, they just see कि कितना आप में learning, कितना growth करने की कितनी hunger. वो सब चीजें. So got your point,
Are
ma'am.
taking risks basically. You don't uh, in the mid career now, like, you're safe. You've kind of, in a safe zone. So try taking more risks where it is, taking higher responsibilities. Start exploring yourself into newer, areas, domains. So basically have a growth mindset at this age. Here you need to grow intellectually and, you know
Got your
personally.
point, ma'am. Got your point. Now, ma'am, I want to talk about your book. So you have written Defy Your Gravity. First of
Yeah.
all, like help us understand this, why this title itself. Yeah, we understand the meaning of this title, but what's the thought process behind that title?
Okay.
Yeah.
So normally, see, defy your gravity, when we say it's quite a, you would say that, gravity is something that helps us stay grounded, it just keeps us on the planet, right? But when we say defy your gravity, you see even a rocket defies gravity if it has to go beyond the skies, right?
Okay.
So similarly, in this context, what we meant was that gravity is all the limitations and the challenges that hold you back from growing. So anything which is holding you back, you need to defy that.
Okay.
So that's
So
why defy your
yeah,
gravity.
defy our gravity. So okay, let me give you some challenges that my audience is having or they might have. So first challenge is if they are not doing a job, they are looking for jobs. If they are doing, then they are looking for better job. And if they are doing as well, they are not happy with some kind of job that I need to just do because I need a job. Some cases are there as well. And next case is like some people want to explore different areas, like they want to do some certification, some other things as well. So let's consider these 4 5 things, so how they can defy their gravity in these aspects.
So the first and foremost thing and the starting point is actually to understand the point you are at and the point you want to get to. So you are at point A and you want to get to point B. First, identify these 2 points and then understand the gap there is between. वो gap क्या है? So even in this book, Defy Your Gravity, the main character, which is Adi, when he's on his transformation journey, he does the same thing. He makes a 20-point list of, everything that he lacks, all those things that he has to, वो जो gap है ना, from point A to point B में पहुंचने का, that identification you have to do. And then you have to identify what will stop you from reaching there. So certain habits, हमारी, we always blame that, it's not happening. I'm not good enough. It's actually not right. It's basically our own internal dialogue. It's not really us. If you actually see, you're as good at that work as anybody else who's actually achieving results. It's just that you are, kind of sending wrong signals to your brain, which is why your behavior, is happening. So that internal thoughts ka jo reframing hai, that's something you have to do. You need to have that fire in the belly, first of all, that intention. If you have the desire and the intention is correct, nothing can stop you. Then all you need is consistency. All you need is resilience. Because when, you don't, like, we've heard it so many times. Don't look at the end result. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma bhalishu kadachana. Don't look at the end result. Look at the journey. Look at the process. राइट? तो अगर हम उसको देखते हैं तो फेलियर्स तो आएंगे बीच में. डोंट वरी, गेट बैक. सो ये सब चीजें यदि आपके, दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाई यू हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी, यू हैव टू बी योर ओन ड्राइवर ऑफ योर लाइफ. डोंट लीव इट ऑन अदर पीपल. बिकॉज एक गीता में बहुत अच्छा, वो है, रथ रति रूपक की एक बहुत प्यारी सी स्टोरी है, which talks about, I'm giving you a very small,
Yeah, please.
it's an analogy of the, Rath ek hai, or Rati is the guy who's driving that Rath. एंड रूपक इज द ओनर ऑफ द। तो जो भी उस रथ के साथ होने वाला है, सो इफ रथ इज योर लाइफ, anything that is going to happen to your life, who's going to bear the consequences, good or bad?
जी,
It is you, the owner of your life. And who is the driver of that thing? It's your intellect. So if your intellect is in place, if you use your wisdom, and वो जो घोड़े हैं, they are your desires, but you have to tame them. तो वो जो reins होती, वो जो लगाम होती है, वो you have to tame them, right? तो वो mind है. So if you are able to tame them, so everything will go in order. Otherwise, जो भी consequences होंगे, रथ टूटेगा, उनको ग्रीनरी दिखेगी घोड़ों को, and they will run away towards that direction. The
right.
onus has to be on you. You have to be the custodian of your life. Take it in your hand. बहुत लोग हैं जिन्होंने अपनी जिंदगी को जिया है. प्रीति इज दी, दैट इज वाई से, अगर मैं आपको प्रिंस ऐसे बोल रही हूँ, बहुत लोग सुनते हुए, यंग बच्चे, एंड इट्स वेरी वेरी ऑब्वियस, इट्स नेचुरल होता है. उस एज में हम भी यही करते थे, कि हमें भी लगता था ये तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है, ये तो सिर्फ कहानियां हैं, ये सिर्फ टाटा बिरला कर सकते हैं, ये खान सर कर सकते हैं, मैं तो, मेरे पास देखो कितनी सारी प्रॉब्लम्स है लाइफ में, कोई मेरी लाइफ जी के तो देखे. But that is why I said Adi went through a transformation of growth. I said nobody will believe me. So I had another real life character, Preeti from Agra, जिसने सेम जर्नी लीड की है. सो यू डोंट हैव टू
Okay.
गो फार. आप उसकी लाइफ को देखिए, किस तरह से वो बच्ची टूटते हुए बिखरते हुए फिर खड़े हो जाती थी, टूटते हुए बिखरते हुए फिर खड़ी हो जाती थी. And people like Malaika Arora, people like Vicky Kaushal, people like Karan Johar, they've all vouched for her life. सो दैट्स व्हाट इट इज फॉर एनीवेयर. आप कहीं स्टार्टिंग कर रहे हैं, करियर चेंज करना है, किसी भी उसमें है, पहले लाइफ अपने हाथ में ले लो एंड एंजॉय करो लाइफ को. आई तो से प्रिंस, आई डू दैट. आई टेक लाइफ एज अ ट्रेजर हंट. मुझे लगता है मेरी गेम तो है ही नहीं, पहली बात. किसी यूनिवर्स, कोई भगवान ना भी हो, चलो छोड़ दो, कोई एक यूनिवर्सल एनर्जी है, सुपर पावर है, जिसके हाथ से, जिसकी गेम है, ही इज प्लेइंग, वी आर प्लेइंग वन कैरेक्टर. Now, if you look at it from the aerial view, in the entire universe, आपका कितना उसमें कितना अस्तित्व है? You're nobody, but you think you are the only one who's getting impacted. So play it like a game, play it like a treasure hunt. कि आज ये चीज अच्छा इस डायरेक्शन में गई, ये नहीं पसंद आया, चल छोड़ो, let me find out where's the treasure, let me look for it, so you'll enjoy life.
मतलब इन शॉर्ट, मतलब डोंट टेक लाइफ टू सीरियसली आप बोल
Yeah,
आप
enjoy
रिलैक्स.
करो. But be productive, be consistent in your efforts, be disciplined, keep your focus on your goals, and set your goals, but don't be very harsh on yourself. Make them realistic. Life कहीं दौड़े नहीं जा रही है.
आपने मैम एक पॉइंट और ऐड किया इसमें, जिसको भूख है, मतलब हंगर होनी चाहिए कुछ करने की. यू हैव फायर इन योर बैली ऐसा करके. तो लाइक मूवी में डायलॉग था, आशिकी थी शायद, आशिकी टू में भी. तो वो सिंगिंग लड़की करने वाली होती है, तो लाइक वो बोलता है कि जैसे भूख है रोटी उसे ही मिलनी चाहिए. और ये समवेयर आप देखोगे ना, तो जो अच्छे लीडर्स हैं वो लोग यही देखते हैं कि अगर इसे कोई पोजीशन चाहिए, इफ समवन इज आस्किंग फॉर अ पोजीशन, देन वेदर एपिटाइट है भी या नहीं बस, या फिर पैसे के लिए चेस करने के लिए मांग रहा है. और रिसेंटली मतलब अभी कल ही मेरे साथ एक इंसिडेंट हुआ है ऐसा. मतलब एक हमारे प्रोफेशनल स्फेयर में एक पर्सन है, इज रनिंग हिज ओन शॉप. तो एक पर्सन आया उनके पास इंटरव्यू के लिए एंड ऑल. सो ही सेड कि थोड़ा सा इसमें फायर वायर कुछ नहीं है. तो ही गेव दैट पर्सन माय नंबर कि ले भाई देख के आना. अगर अब नाउ ही मैसेज मी सर्टेन थिंग्स कि ठीक है, आई जस्ट वांट टू सी कि उसमें कुछ है भी, हंगर या कुछ करने का भी है. इफ ही रीचेस आउट टू यू देन लेट मी नो. So they are going to call him if the person makes effort to reach me at least. So they
Yeah.
want to see whether you actually, if you can actually make some efforts or not. If you can make efforts for yourself, you can do the same for themselves, their work, their business as well. But hunger तो होनी चाहिए, इसके बिना तो कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है. मैम एक क्वेश्चन मेरे को आ रहा था मैम, हाउ ओल्ड योर आदि इज?
23 years old.
ओके, एंड प्रीति?
Preeti is also, she's now, I think, 27.
कि नाउ 27. चलो मैम, ग्रेट. सो हम लोग इस वीडियो के नीचे मैम की बुक का लिंक देंगे. एंड जितनी मैम ने स्टोरी सुनाई है उसको तो मुझे बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लग रही है. सो आप लोग उस लिंक पे क्लिक करके उसको परचेज कर सकते हो अमेजन से, एंड उस बुक को पढ़ सकते हो. और मैम लिंक्डइन पे अवेलेबल है, आप उनको रीच आउट कर सकते हो, मैसेज कर सकते हो, एंड इफ यू हैव एनी काउंटर क्वेश्चन एज वेल। नाउ डेज आई एम लाइक आई एम हैविंग फन विद काउंटर इंट्यूटिव थिंग्स। ठीक है, ये तो सब कर रहे हैं, अभी इसका अपोजिट क्या चल रहा है, ये कौन नहीं कर रहा, क्यों नहीं कर रहे? तो अगर आपको कुछ ऐसा क्वेश्चन भी है तो आप लिंक्डइन पे मैसेज कर सकते हो मैम को, और बुक में मेल भी दिया होगा, आई होप सो,
Yeah.
तो कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं मैम। Okay, so all of the people who are watching this video, most of them are finance professional, like who have spent 5, 6 years. So when people come to us, now yesterday I was talking to a person, he has spent 16 years working in the same company, working in the same company. So what do you say to these kind of careers? What do you comment on these things? Ki the person said that I have more potential. It is his own word, but I am not able to realize that. Actually, 16 years he has spent with the same organization. Now, I cannot even imagine like
Hmm.
how people are doing this. So how can he or she step out of that zone? And what are the 2, 3 things you want to say to all of us before we close the podcast?
So, see, there is nothing right or wrong here. There are companies like Microsoft, Google, Apple, a lot of other companies where people don't change their jobs. They stay usi they're married to the company. So what is important is कि आप उसमें enjoy कर रहे हो कि नहीं कर रहे हो, आप grow कर रहे हो कि नहीं कर रहे हो, is the company growing or not? But if you are not, please be bold enough to find, maybe आपको direction ही total change करनी पड़े, do it. मैं आपको अब I can give you n number of examples of people who started graduating in a particular degree and today they are in a very different, functional area completely. I started with pharma. Where am I today? And there are n number of people. They start with mechanical, they'll be in IT. They'll start with arts, they'll be in something else. So it doesn't matter. If you are not happy in a place, please don't remain there. Take the bold step.
Okay, what one key message you want to give to people before we close this podcast?
One key message is to keep the child in you alive.
Okay, ma'am.
एक बच्चा जिस समय गिरता है, वो खुद खड़ा होता है, वो फिर गिरता है, वो फिर खुद खड़ा होता है, टिल ही परफेक्ट्स हिज मूव, बट ही डजंट गिव अप. सो एंड उसका स्टेट ऑफ माइंड वो कितनी जल्दी चेंज कर लेता है. ही सैड एंड सडनली नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग ही विल बी गिगलिंग. तो हमें ना वो जो अंदर हमारा एक नेचुरल इंस्टिंक्ट है ऑफ बीइंग अ चाइल्ड, उसको अलाइव रखना है, तो सारी बीमारियां दूर हो जाएंगी, सारा स्ट्रेस दूर हो जाएगा, सारी एंजाइटी दूर हो जाएगी. सो जस्ट एंजॉय लाइफ लाइक अ किड.
ठीक है, अभी हम इस पॉइंट में बात करें तो मेरे को भी एक पॉइंट और पूछना है, लाइक हमारा जो हमने जो कम्युनिटी बिल्ड करा है उसका एक मिशन स्टेटमेंट है जो मैं काफी बार चेंज कर चुका हूँ, बट जो मेरे से सबसे ज्यादा कनेक्टेड है, मैं लाइव भी पूछ रहा हूँ, देयर इज नथिंग टू हाइड एनीथिंग। सो गब्बर मूवी थी, उस मूवी में एक सीन था जब वो मतलब सारे स्टूडेंट्स को पकड़ के लाके पीट रहे होते हैं, बताओ गब्बर कौन है? तो एट दैट टाइम द एक्ट्रेस जो लीड थी, शी सेड कि society doesn't suffer because of incapable people, society suffer when capable people choose to do nothing. बिकॉज इफ यू फील आप में पोटेंशियल है, आप कुछ कर सकते हो, सिर्फ अपने लिए नहीं सोसाइटी के लिए भी कर सकते हो, तो ये आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, और अगर आप ऐसा नहीं कर रहे हो देन यू आर वन अमंग दोज इनकेपेबल पीपल, even even though you have all the potential. So what you want to add on this point?
Okay, very, very interesting question, Prince. I'm so glad you asked this. I would really urge you and everybody who's watching this pet podcast to go back and look into the Constitution of India. हम सब बोलते हैं rights and duties. There is one, I don't know which one, I think H constitution, उसमें duties में, which says that everybody, every citizen of India must, the words are not correct, but the meaning is the same, must perform par excellence. तो ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता कि आपको एक काम दिया गया है और या आप किस भी, मैंने कहा ना, जहां आप हैं उसका पूरा पोटेंशियल, मतलब लिटरली कैपिटलाइज ऑन दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी. आप देखेंगे बहुत सारे जितने यूनिवर्सिटीज बाहर जो हैं और जो कंपनीज, बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज हैं, वो जो रिक्रूट करते हैं जिस समय ना स्टूडेंट्स को, जब हम हायर करते थे हम ये नहीं देखते थे कि ये बड़ी उस कॉलेज से है, हम देखते थे इस कॉलेज में इसके पास कितना एक्सपोजर था, इसने कितना अचीव किया। एक आईआईटी वाला, उसको इतना एक्सपोजर है और उसने एक मीडियोकर की तरह लाइफ लीड करके अगर आ गया है तो उसका एटीट्यूड, उसकी पर्सनालिटी पता चलती है। और एक छोटे से कॉलेज का, मान लो मथुरा का एक बच्चा यहाँ से निकल के आता है गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज से, लेकिन उसने नेशनल लेवल डिबेटिंग भी की है, उसने ये भी, तो आपको पता चल जाता है इस बच्चे का पर्सनालिटी कैसी है। एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू, मैक्सिमम आप एसओपीज जब ये लिखवाते हैं कॉलेजेस और कंपनीज, जब आपके एसेज लंबे लंबे लिखवाते हैं, उसका एक ही ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है। The objective is to know the person behind the resume. And they are actually recruiting the person behind the resume. Skills तो वो आपको कभी भी सिखा देंगे, काम वो आपको अपने हिसाब से ट्रेन करेंगे ही करेंगे. They need to know that. So be the person behind the resume that the company is looking for.
Right, ma'am. So Article 51A J fundamental duties. It was added by 42nd constitutional amendment and all. So it's duty. It's our duty. And मैम ने भी बोला कि like अभी थोड़े दिन पहले किसी पर्सन ने मैसेज किया था मैम. He said कि sir I am from a tier 2 tier 3 college. So they are not ma'am just said ki they are not evaluating you on the same basis. They are evaluating you on your circumstance basis. Ki if you
बिल्कुल
are coming from that college, how much you have achieved, matlab, how out of the box you think, and these kind of thing. So great point, ma'am. मतलब अभी अगर इस सेशन को क्लोज करने के बाद मेरे लिए भी मतलब जैसे आपने बोला मेक अ 20 पॉइंट लिस्ट व्हाट विल स्टॉप यू फ्रॉम रीचिंग देयर एंड लाइक आदि वेंट थ्रू अ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन एंड ऑल. सो अभी मेरे लिए मतलब मेरे को खुद के लिए अभी टास्क मिला है कि लाइक मैं 20 तो नहीं एटलीस्ट 10 तो लिखूंगा कि मुझे कहाँ इसको एक्सपैंड करने से कहाँ चैलेंजेस आ रहे हैं ना आ रहे हैं. तो एक्चुअल में जो मैम ने चीजें बताई है ना बहुत पावरफुल है. और अगर आप लोग इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करोगे तो मैं तो करने वाला हूँ और आप लोग करो तो प्लीज मैसेज मी एज वेल. सो थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सो मच. आपने बहुत सारी चीजें बताई एंड बहुत सारी कोट्स भी दिए, कोई भगवत गीता से कोई कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से. So we really enjoyed, we really loved the
thank
conversation, and we got to learn a lot from this conversation. And I want to thank you on everyone's behalf who is watching and who is going to watch in future. Thank you so much, ma'am. You are doing a great work, and you are a blessing to society as well.
you. Pleasure is all
Really.
mine. I'm really honored that you kind of invited me here today. Thank you so much, Prince.
Yeah.
It was a
So,
pleasure.
guys, thank you for joining us today for this podcast, and we will meet in some another podcast. Till then, do whatever you want to do, as Salman Khan said.